Hello, what is going on, guys? Hockey Guy 1 here. Welcome to my review of Halloween 1978. So, Halloween 1978 is directed by John Carpenter and stars Donald Pleasence, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nick Castle, PJ Soles, Nancy Kyes, and Charles Cyphers. So the story is about Michael Myers, who has returned to Haddonfield 15 years after he killed his sister Judith Myers, and he is now stalking Laurie Strode and all of her friends as he tries to kill all of them one by one, while Dr. Loomis tries to hunt him down and stop him from killing more people and trying to kill him. So the story is very good. I mean, this movie is what put the slasher genre on air. I mean, there are obviously more slasher movies before this, but this movie pretty much defined the slasher genre. I mean, this story had never been done before this. I mean, it's very original how they had this, even if it was overused later on in the slasher genre, which is kind of what made the genre die. But either way, the story is very good for what it is. I mean, they do a good job keeping it consistent and also really making it interesting and original, limiting cliches, and it's very great how they do this and make it scary at the same time. The structure is very good. You got the first act, which pretty much sets the tone of the whole movie. It shows Michael Myers killing Judith Myers, his sister, and that pretty much sets the whole tone of this movie, as it pretty much is what started out Michael Myers' whole serial killing career, and they do a good job with that. And the second act is pretty much where he's stalking Laurie and all her friends, and it really moves along with the movie and really connects with that first act and really just has the tone going up. And then there's the third act, which is basically where Laurie fights back, tries to protect him, and all three of these actually do fit together into one confident story, and they do a really good job crafting out the structure to make it into a whole story. Then you got the ending, obviously, which just is pretty spooky, if I'm being honest. I mean, it just shows how scary Michael Myers is. I mean, you think he's dead, but nope, he ends up getting up when they look away for a second, and then moves away to kill another day. It's just a really good way to conclude the movie and really sets up the second movie, which is what it's pretty much there for. And they do a good job with that, of making it feel a bit spooky and a bit scary for that. And it's a really good conclusion for this movie. Laurie's character is done very well. I mean, they do a good job making her have character and making her have just a really good amount of it. I mean, she's pretty much has a personality, and her personality is basically, she's just kind of a protecting person, and obviously really kind of creeped out at first. But over time, they really do a good job with character development in this movie. Is over time, she has to stand up against Michael, and it's just good character development for her, and really shows how much the writers cared about development in this, and it really is a good job for them to do that. Linda and Annie are pretty good characters. I mean, they're the friends of Laurie, and she does a good job writing these characters. I mean, they're pretty much just friends with Laurie, and they do a good job showing that friendship, as there are plenty of scenes kind of showing them together, kind of showing how their friendship goes, and as well as how they help out each other at certain situations. And they do a good job with that, and really showing how their characters are, and doing a good job writing them. Dr. Loomis is a very good character. He's obviously just the person who's going after Michael, trying to kill him, and they're doing a pretty good job with writing him. I mean, and they kind of put him through a full character arc where he ends up going to kill Michael at the end, but obviously Michael doesn't end up being killed, so it's not 100% complete, kind of, but they do a good job kind of writing that character arc as it's kind of build up. He's trying to find him throughout the movie, and then when he finally finds him, he ends up shooting him about 6 times, and he falls down and somehow survives, pretty much, because it's Michael Myers. And that kind of is pretty much his character arc, and they do a good job at writing that and completing it. Then there's Michael Myers himself. Michael Myers is just pretty much the perfect horror villain. He is just so scary because we don't really know why he's doing all this stuff, which is perfect to do for a horror villain, because if you don't really know what they are, it makes them more scary and a bit more realistic even. I mean, he's just so intimidating because we don't really know why he's became this kind of serial killer. I mean, the first thing he does is kill his sister at the age of 10. Like, we don't really know why he does that, and it's what makes him really scary, and it's what makes him work as a whole horror villain. The acting is just fantastic. I mean, you got Donald Pleasence, who played Dr. Loomis in this movie, and he just did a fantastic job in this role. I mean, and you can tell he's really pretty much into the character, as he's just really delivering his lines with so much confidence and really matching the character's emotion at this certain time. And they do a really good job with it. I mean, I'm really impressed with how good Donald Pleasence did in this role, as this pretty much is his most famous role. And he's just really great in this role and pretty much defines who Dr. Loomis is. And Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie is just really great. I mean, and it's really impressive how she did that kind of acting at that age. I mean, and she's just phenomenal in this role. She really does feel like the character and does deliver her lines with intensity and as if she really wants to be there. I mean, it's impressive how she did with the acting in this movie. The costume designs are just very good. Especially for a horror movie, they perfectly work. I mean, Michael Myers' whole suit is iconic, including that mask, and the mask just gives him such an intimidating look, and it's just a scary mask that he puts on, and it just makes him look so scary, and it just really works for a horror villain to be wearing this kind of a costume. And it was a perfect job for the designers to be doing something like that. The horror elements of this movie are very good. Like, whenever it tries to be scary, it is scary. I mean, there's one scene where someone opens up the closet and Michael Myers just pops out of it and out of nowhere, and you just don't expect it, and it's just scary in how they do it. And every time this movie tries to be scary with Michael, it really works, including with the kills. It just really is scary how he does all these kills. I mean, when he kills Annie, it's just really intimidating how he does it. I mean, you don't expect him to be in the car, so he ends up appearing in the car out of nowhere, and it's just scary how he does it. And then he slowly kills her, which just makes it really a good kill. And I don't think there's a single bad kill in this movie. I mean, every single kill is just really intimidating, and they do a good job with it, including this one scene where they kill Linda by pretty much showing her with the whole cell phone, and it's just scary how they end up doing that. She does use a phone for it, and it's kind of a different kill than he did before this, and it's what makes it pretty scary. The cinematography is just absolutely stunning. I mean, the movie starts off with using these first-person POV shots, and it's just impressive on how they work for the scenes. I mean, they were pretty much put in there because he wants to follow Michael's point of view, and it works for the scene as it makes the scene more intimidating, and you don't really know what's gonna happen, and it's just really scary how they do those first-person POV shots and completely work for the scenes. And also, whenever they use whiteouts in this movie, it really works. Like, they use it kind of to show the scene off, and it really works. And when they do close-ups, it works as well, as they did do a couple close-up kills that really work for it. And as the camera angles do perfectly work for each scene, especially whenever there's a kill, they use it in the correct spot, and it's very effective and makes the kills more effective. The lighting is obviously very dark since it's a horror movie, and it obviously works for it because, I mean, it's a horror movie, so it makes sense, but they also do make it bright enough where you can see what's going on, so the lighting is very effective in this movie, and they do a good job with it. The score is just fantastic. I mean, the opening credits has that iconic theme, and it's just very effective, and it just really works for this movie, as it's just kind of a scary song, and it works for this movie. Like the da 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 thing is just, it's just so spooky feeling, and it just really works for it. And even when they do other scores in this movie, like during kills, like they use yeah, that probably doesn't sound like it, but the score, it just really works. I mean, it gives you a spooky feeling, like when Michael Myers is about to kill someone. It's just the score really plays something that really works for the movie. The set designs are very good. Like, the whole design of Haddonfield is just very good. I mean, it looks like a normal suburb, which makes it a bit more intimidating, as you could kind of think of it that way. And I really like how it looks, because they do a good job at showing off Haddonfield and designing it. And as well as the set design of the Myers house, I mean, it just gives such a spooky feeling, and it really works. I mean, the whole look of the Myers house is just kind of small than normal, and it's just much scarier. That's the way it's designed is much scarier than the others, and it really works for that, as it makes the scenes near it a bit more effective, and I really like how they do that. And to be honest, I don't really think I have any negatives that are big enough to move down the rating. So overall, Halloween 1978 is a revolutionary film to the horror genre, the best slasher movie, one of the best horror movies, and is an absolute masterpiece. And I'm gonna give Halloween 1978 a 10 out of 10. That was my review of Halloween 1978. What are your thoughts on Halloween 1978? Tell me in the comments below, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.